Okay, we should be coming through loud and clear. Let's load up one of these. That's better. And let's all have a look at this daily close and some data that I want to share with you about whether or not we've topped or whether we are going to keep going higher for now. I'll give everyone a minute to tune in. I'm just going to check this is all coming through on my other screen. Happy Saturday morning to those of you that are watching. Awesome, awesome. Smash that like button, that is right. 100 watching already. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay. So while we've got 20 minutes to the daily close, I'm just going to run you through some things that I'm looking at. This is Ethereum. Let's just have a look at Bitcoin. I do think that we have likely put in a bit of a top in the short term. I'm going to talk about why that is at the moment and some of the metrics that we're seeing that we can, I guess, get a glimpse into the future of what might be likely to occur. And I think it's going to be volatile. I think whatever happens is only for the short term because, hey, the bull market's just getting started. This has been one of the most bullish weeks in history. So I don't think when I say a top, I certainly am referring to a temporary top. And honestly, it can maybe just be a matter of hours. You know, we could just be looking at a few more hourly candles to correct into some sort of nice bull flag. These kind of patterns that keep repeating themselves, pennants, you know, all these variants of continuation patterns. So yeah, nothing too scary, nothing to worry about. And I'd also be leaning to something like this being likely, you know, more of a flag where we just have one more kind of low to scare everyone. I think something like 12,500 would be a pretty big area where everyone will be looking to buy. Yeah, this is what I look for. A bit of confluence, some fib zones. Let's have a look at where our moving averages are. So high time frame, we've got a long way to go down here. But I don't think we're going to go down there just yet. As you can see here, we can continue a long way away from those moving averages in a bull market. But we tend to ride these moving averages on like the 4-hour time frames, as you see here. And then there's lots of buyers waiting to buy as soon as he gets a pullback anywhere near that kind of area. In future, I do want to do a video just how I set up my trading view and a lot of little tricks of the trade there, because I know there's plenty of you that are interested in that. Where we're looking at the daily close, I mean, this is still a pretty healthy candle. I would love for it to finish in the green, but as long as we've got that nice little bottom wick there, then these are just those consolidation patterns before continuing higher. Ethereum still hasn't really caught up, and that's very clear to see on this ETH BTC pair, which is all a bit messy here. Let's get rid of all this clutter. But if you remember, you know why we've got all this clutter on the chart. But this is, again, pulling back and starting to look like a nice bull flag. And you can see here, it's no coincidence that there's buyers stepping in on these types of trend lines. They're waiting for those pullbacks to come. This is all really healthy after a big move up, and then I think we probably take off again higher. There's lots of interest in DeFi and that kind of stuff at the moment. So let's have a quick look now at what I am looking at that's telling me that we might have put in a temporary top for now. So first of all, let's just zoom out a little bit. Where did we get to here on some of our recent price action? Almost a double top here at 13,200. and quite a bit of volume came in there. So that's kind of the first clue where there's, hey, there's people selling after this, again, pretty decent size sell-off candle. Someone wanted to sell, and they're dumping on the market. So let's head over, and as I just tweeted about, let's have a look at some of our friends and their data. Did I tweet that yet? No, I haven't tweeted that yet. So what I wanted to share with you was some of our knowledge center. This is our new website, by the way. I know heaps of you guys have been looking forward to it. I tweeted that we've launched it last night, and we've already had 500 sign up. So I did not realize how many of you were not fans of Facebook and have been waiting to join. So when we go over here and have a look at our partners, I want to have a look at the education. We got Glassnode and Sentiment. Yeah, so these are our, two of our partners here, free to use. They've also got paid tools, but let's have a look at one of the things in particular, one of the metrics. So unrealized profits, let's have a look. We can see that there's people that are starting to have pretty decent sized profits now. No, let's zoom back out. So there's more and more people that are actually sitting on some okay profits compared to way back down here. Oh, you guys can't see that, can you? It's behind me. Hopefully you can see that now. That's not the most important one. The one that I do want to show you is the coins that are starting to move to exchanges. That's the thing that we want to keep an eye on. So this is the Ethereum data, and this is the Bitcoin data. The guys did a live stream last night, which was really cool to watch. And obviously, if you're a premium member, you start to get a lot of this stuff live. If you're the sort of person that likes to watch this yourself, get these insights first. Exchange outflows. Yes, so that's one thing that's been really promising lately. We've seen so many coins go off exchanges. Now, the other day in the big move up, Bitcoin had its highest discussed day since May 10th. So a lot of people, percentage terms, talking about Bitcoin, tying this all together. This relates to things like Bitcoin dominance. So the highest day, the most people talking about Bitcoin since back in May. What happened back in May? Well, this is when Bitcoin dominance was at its highest. So does that mean that Bitcoin dominance could have a run back up to this sort of 69 area? They're the sort of things that you can tie together to build a bit of a picture about what is going on in that world there. Take that off a log chart. That's a bit better, but a bit clearer. So just something to be aware of. A lot of people were getting excited about Bitcoin. Obviously, all that news flow was about Bitcoin. And then let's have a look at the Bitcoin news, and then we'll have a look at the Ethereum news after that. So it did reach an extreme, a bit of a sort of euphoria, irrational confidence. This doesn't mean a collapse is imminent, just some consolidation is what it normally leads to. This is what they're saying here. So you can see these big spikes, social volume, everyone gets super excited about Bitcoin, and then it can have a little bit of a correction. Now that didn't really happen there. Sharp sell off there, sharp sell off there. So maybe we can expect some consolidation this weekend. Let's have a look at the hodlers that are on the move. So this is, again, a very telling signal. Over the past 2 years, these are the sort of coins that haven't really moved. 7,700 2-year dormant coins have moved in the past 24 hours. So this is the spikes on the data here. This is what we're saying just before. Didn't really lead to a sell-off there. You can sort of get one more push sometimes where these aren't massive whales, but what I would do if I'm wanting to sell 7,000 Bitcoin, I probably have 1,000 Bitcoin on a leveraged trading exchange, and I want to try and push the market up. So when we've got a pattern like this, let's go back to this date here in 24th of July, Bitcoin. What I want to do is try and push the market up to sell into that volume that I'm trying to, or get others to buy it off me. So this is right here, this big date, 27th of July. Everyone's getting excited. We have a bit of a consolidation, and then we push higher. And this is where I've got my sort of sell orders. This is where I want my 7,000 coins. It's very hard for me to dump those on the market without dumping the price. But if there's a big rush of euphoria and lots of buyers, then they're going to chew up all those orders. And then I can start selling more heavily once the buyers are coming in. And that's where you end up with this type of pattern. You know, it's kind of going up, and then it ends up being people getting kind of dumped on by the whales. But once again, this is maybe a similar example to what is going to happen. It's nothing to really worry about in the long term. It's one player that's getting out. What we have actually seen with the miners, let's have a look at, miners haven't been selling, I believe. So the miner flows are a little bit different. Exchange. Price of development, on-chain, network activity, active addresses. No. Maybe on a glass node here. Let's have a look. So this is the that's what I just showed you before, unrealized profit. Quick look at unrealized losses. Very few people are sitting on losses now, which is why we can continue to run higher. I spoke about that in more detail the other night. Miners to exchanges. This is the metric that I wanted. Upgrade to professional plan. I thought I wasn't a professional plan. Bugger, I can't show you that. I'll have to upgrade or get in touch with them. I thought I was on the professional plan. Either way, what I did want to show you there was that there's basically, miners aren't really sending to exchanges to sell. It's more just users, and that's less of a worry than miners. So when miners are constantly selling to exchanges, that is more likely when we're going to have a downturn. But here we can see other occasions when we did have a reasonable correction when there's people selling and moving coins to exchanges. Now, in terms of Ethereum, these are the miners and their balances. 2-month gradual climb, clear bullish indicator. So there's good news and bad news. The quest to pass 420 barrier. The good news is that miners aren't selling, and there's a big increase in new ETH addresses, and pre-existing addresses have shown an increase in activity. The bad news is that social sentiment is bordering on euphoric territory. Daily active deposits have jumped in a big way. So this does mean, again, that there are some people that are depositing to exchanges. The previous spikes here, bit of a downturn, one more push up, and then a downturn. So these are the kind of things where it's not the time to FOMO in. And if you are a beginner, or you've got your friends and family that are probably lighting up your inbox, they've seen Bitcoin go parabolic, and this is when they start to buy, when the chart looks like this. But you know what happens when a chart looks like this? Normally we get some sort of correction. Now, in a bull market, you can always dip your toe in the water. So if you've got friends and family that are busting to buy, maybe tell them to buy 10%. If they want to put in $1,000, help them buy $100 and play around with it. Get them to send it, explain the addresses, get all their security set up. Tragic story, one of our members this week lost over $100,000, and he was pretty well set up. He was a pretty savvy guy. He was aware of the security dangers and what can happen. And what he ended up doing was sending his seed phrase, his backup words, online or to a email address just to print out or whatever he was doing short term. He then deleted all that. What happened was I think it sat in his trash or his, and he hadn't emptied the trash. And then a hacker got in, does the old search for terms like private keys or backup phrase or Bitcoin, finds that 12 words, those 24 words, whatever it is, in the trash bin. And before you know it, the $100,000 Bitcoin's gone. So look, unfortunately, these things happen. You've just got to be so careful. You've got to almost suspect that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And I say to people, I must have said it 1,000 times in our group, never share your private key, your passphrase or passwords online with anyone ever. That includes typing them into your own email address. When MetaMask asks you for those words, or when another website, when Trezor is asking you or Ledger for those words, alarm bells should be going off. There is no reason that any website or any person on Telegram, a lot of people always think they're talking to the admins of these different groups, and a lot of the time they go in there looking for help. Just never ever, guys, never ever share that private key or type it in anywhere. Okay, so yeah, if I was to make a prediction, I think we're due for a little bit of consolidation, but PayPal, the news that we've had this week, it's probably the most bullish news ever. So I'm not expecting us to have a big retracement or anything like that. We're going to get a fair idea of how many buyers are waiting here on a weekend. Maybe the whales are kind of going to try and slam price down at 3 a.m. New York, US time, when a lot of the traders are asleep and they've got their stop losses and people are on high leverage. And so we often do see it in Australia in our afternoon. This is when a lot of this kind of tomfoolery happens. Or as Joe Biden would say, the malarkey. But that presents opportunities. This is where if you've been a little bit patient and you've got some low orders set, maybe we do get a wick down to 12,500 like I pointed out before, and you can get a nice little low buy order. On Ethereum, you kind of see where we tend to gravitate to these last touch points. That's where buyers tend to set their orders. So low time frame for the traders, that's kind of what you're looking at. And on bigger picture, look, we haven't got into sort of stupid territory yet. On the daily, we are, we're getting there. We're only at 80 on the RSI. In big bull market run-ups, we can easily get into the 90s. 83 on that occasion there. Let's go back to the bull market. So here we are. Let's just bring this up. We start our run in the bull market. RSI gets up to 88 here, 89, 89. Oh no, that's only 2019 bull run. I was going to say, I'm sure we got up into the 90s back in the 2017 mania. So when we first got out of gear here, wowee. So we got up to 90 here. That was the first move back to the old all-time high. 92 on this run, up to 1800, which again, that was a new high at the time. And then the final big blow off top, 95.96 on the daily RSI. And on the weekly, up to 90 on the weekly, 80 last time. At the moment, we're sitting just under 70. So they're the sort of things that I'm watching for the run to continue higher. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum. Let's go back to an exchange with a little bit more history. Wowee. So this was fun, wasn't it? 98 we hit on the weekly RSI when Ethereum had that run from $6 up to $418. So when things get going, they get going for Ethereum. At the moment, we're not even at 70 yet, we're at 65. So look, I think Ethereum's got plenty of room to continue. It's just whether or not Ethereum has a bit of consolidation, if Bitcoin does, or it can tread its own path. Now, I guess the good news is for all markets that Bitcoin has started to tread its own path or break that correlation. So we've just had the daily close now. Yeah, that's a pretty decent looking candle in the end. That was a nice wick. That shows you what I was talking about before, that there's plenty of buyers that are happy to be stepping in here at the moment. And maybe we get that one more push up. Maybe we get another crack at 13,200, but I do feel that would be met with a lot of selling pressure. You know, the top chasers. And we have a look at certain metrics, like it's pretty clear that we've put in these big, divergences where we had another crack, not quite another high, but clear divergences. So the rally is running out of steam in the short term. That is my message. Very similar story here for Ethereum. You see that strength decreasing as price has been, generally increasing. And we have had a sell trigger there, so that was a good heads up. So no reason to sell your coins. If you're a beginner and you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, does that mean I sell? You should not be playing the short term. If you're an advanced trader and you want to put a short on as a bit of a hedge, like I've got on at the moment, hey, that's fine. But if you're the sort of person that's here for the long term, a hodler, yeah, you don't want to be selling your coins and trying to buy back in, because as I spoke about in detail the other night, a lot of people sold at 3,000 because they thought that was the top. Then they sold at 5, and then 7, then 10, and before you know it, Bitcoin goes to 20k. So you want to have your sort of core stack that you hodl for good. But geez, what an exciting week! Let's have a look at some of these comments. Someone did miss the like button, actually. Someone pressed the wrong one, the thumbs down, Louise. That's right. Or Louis, sorry. $100K, yeah, we're here for the 100K journey over the next few years. Tax-wise, there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't sell for the majority of people. Complete sleep disruption syndrome. That's what I've had. Hobo, what an idiot. Is he talking about me or someone else? Grand final day. It is grand final day, isn't it? Well, Gemma, my wife's a Richmond supporter, so I think we'll be going for Richmond in our house tonight. Tone Vase is bearish. I think he's always bearish, isn't he? Novogratz is bullish. Have I ever thought about using night mode for TradingView? Yeah, I'm not really a fan. I quite like the white. I have my computer, and you guys should have this as well, your laptops and your computer and your phone on, you can put them on night mode and it filters out the blue light. So the blue light is the one that interferes with your circadian rhythm. It thinks if you're sitting there all day and all night staring at screens with blue light, that's the blue light suppresses your brain's ability to produce melatonin. So that's why people find it hard to go to sleep. Whereas if you've got the filter on, the screen looks a little bit yellow. You get used to it after a while. You don't even notice it. It looks a little bit yellow because it's filtered out all the blue. But that's a lot easier to go to sleep and doesn't muck you up. yes, I was euphoric the other day after getting beaten and bashed for 2 or 3 years in that bear market. People forget how hard it was. And I mean, I can't thank the people that stayed with us enough. Out of our 4,000 members, there's 1,000 that have been with us for that whole journey, which is awesome. But remember, a lot of people dropped off. A lot of people stopped watching videos. A lot of people sold. You've already, heard and posted, and I'm sure plenty of you have experienced it firsthand. The old friends that are either sold their Bitcoin or whatever it is, and now they're kind of coming back and knocking on your door and asking about it all. Just remember as well, in bull markets, you don't want to be, shorting. Bull markets are for getting long, buying the dips and so on. That's what I was going to show you just quickly, wasn't I? So let's have a look at how the correlations changed a little bit this week. Actually, let's do yes. So generally, these have been moving. Well, you guys know the story, inversely or relatively closely related for a long, long time. But this week we had the DXY and then the US stock market. Let's just make that blue. Nice and easy to see. And DXY, let's make that red. Nice and easy to see. The relationship's just changed a little bit. So Bitcoin wasn't following or as reliant on the stock market as we've seen in the past. It was able to do its own thing at stages when stocks were kind of trending down in particular, and Bitcoin was able to rally strongly. So that's super positive sign. That's almost like the Goldilocks scenario as we joked about. And because the market's so small and this market's so big, it's only those tiny little changes. One or two companies that are buying $100 million, $500 million of coins. Bitcoin doesn't care about a correlation to the stock market when there's someone trying to buy $500 million of coins. Those correlations only last as long as the whales are able to manipulate it in that direction, or it is a self-fulfilling property with traders and people sort of looking at the correlations. So that's just something to be aware of. Let's get rid of these now. Those markets are shut over the weekend, so Bitcoin can now, it's free to do its own thing. And I guess the question becomes, are you planning on buying any dips we get this weekend? And what level do you think it's going to go to? Who's interested in Secret? I interviewed Tor the other day. Yes, for those of you that are interested in Secret Network. Have you got your friends and family knocking on the door? Make sure you send them over. All this is free, guys. All the Knowledge Center. This is now on Collective Shift. So this is our new website for nuggetsnews.com.au. But what we launched the other day is our Collective Shift. Very, very exciting. After months and months of trying to get it up and get it working, I think we're finally there. And it's been flogged with traffic lately. So this is kind of a quick look. I'll do a proper overview soon in the future, but yeah, mobile friendly. All my posts are nice and structured. These are the different tiers. We've got different tiers of membership now. All current members get all access to everything, even the higher cost stuff for the old price. Each month we do the Q&A. All those videos are timestamped so you can watch it later. Our beginners course is very close. That's going to be 30,000 words. That's going to be the best beginners course in crypto. Every bit of content I've ever said and done, all put together by my team. More resources, our crypto community. We've got the weekly research reports now. Those of you that live busy lives, we're going to have these snapshots and condense it all. Big headline analysis for the macro stuff. More research reports for gold and silver. Glassnode and Sentiment are working with us to produce these on-chain data and sentiment analysis reports. So yeah, we really want to take things to the next level now that we've finally got that new platform and the ability to do more, share more, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of effort's gone into the team, but for your friends and family, all this is free, guys. All these units, these are just the categories. Within the categories, we've got dozens and dozens of units, everything you'll need. This is getting updated every day with more stuff. There's something that you want that you can't find, just let us know. Yeah, we really want to have this become the go-to place for everything Bitcoin and crypto in the world for everyone. And the Nuggets News app, that's a few months away down the line. At the moment, it's all powered by Collective Shift. But that's kind of what we've been very busy building behind the scenes. That's a good point. We'll put more links to find Collective Shift on our Nuggets News website. It wasn't that easy, was it? I just found that then. Can I show you some more stuff there? Oh, this is the team. So everyone always asks about the team. Myself, Ben, Matt, Megs, Nick, Abigail, Mark, and then these are the kind of part-timers, advisors, casuals, contractors. So I think we're up to 22 altogether now. And these are the guys that are brilliant, that are behind the scenes doing all this kind of stuff. You can't see that very well, but I'll give you a proper run through of what everything looks like in future. But hey, we've got the first version out. And Bitcoin looks to be following our path of a little bit of a correction. Thanks for the donation, Kernia. No question attached. No, thank you for the donation. What's my opinion on gold? Very similar to Bitcoin, isn't it? It's having its correction after a huge move. Don't forget where we were at the start of the year. $1,400, $1,500 gold. So this is a $10 trillion market. Trillions of dollars. There's going to be some profit taking. But guys, Louis is back from the park, from his walk. I'm going to go be a dad on Saturday, on the weekend. I'll talk to you tonight. But I am looking forward to hopefully buying a dip and maybe getting down to 12,500. That would be a bit of a gift, wouldn't it? So look, have a good weekend. Have a good grand final day. Those of you in Australia, stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon.